From the Big East, top-seeded Notre Dame. There was not much suspense here night before last as Notre Dame dispatched fifth-seeded Utah by 15, even less in the Commodores' 19-point win over second-seeded Iowa State. So we welcome you to Denver. Dave Barnett and Carolyn Peck, and it is very rare anymore in college basketball when you have a matchup like this. Without question, the two best centers in the country. Ruth Riley for Notre Dame, Player of the Year in the country. Second-team All-America for Vanderbilt, Chantel Anderson. Rarer still when they go head-to-head with this much at stake.
Well, when you want to decide who's the best, you play the best against the best. And you'll start first with Ruth Riley. Now, Ruth Riley had a phenomenal game, and she's had those kind of games all year long. She can score. She scored 24 points the other night. She had 14 rebounds. She had 6 assists. You don't see that very often from a center, and she played great defense without getting herself in foul trouble. That's going to be key tonight.
Chantel Anderson, a little taller, 6'6", and a little younger, a sophomore.
Well, Jim Foster says she's a work in progress. This is a young lady who shoots the best percentage from the floor in the nation. So if she gets the ball, you can pretty much count it a basket. And she also had 8 rebounds.
But it may not be the centers that decide this. And for more on the second most important matchup of the night, we welcome the third member of our crew, Rob Stone.
That's right, Dave. You know, Riley and Anderson very well may just cancel each other out in the paint. If that happens, this game could be determined by the full court play of the two teams' superlative point guards. Senior from Notre Dame, Niele Ivey, and sophomore sensation Ashley McElhaney are considered the heart and soul of their respective teams. Both put up solid numbers Saturday. Both hit the three ball effectively, and both are grading tenacious defenders. Now, to put their importance in some perspective, ND head coach Muffet McGraw said she needs her third-team All-American point guard, Ivey, on the floor for the entire 40 minutes tonight.
Way back when Muffet McGraw played at St. Joseph's. McGraw played under him and then coached as an assistant under him 1980-81. Winning his coach into history, he has the Commodores in their 4th Elite 8 and the first in 5 years. And we're set to go in Denver. Dennis DeMayo, Angie Lewis, Rick Morris, the official. Battle is on. Riley and Anderson, and Vanderbilt controls the tip. And McElhaney immediately squares up against Ivey.
Notre Dame's in a 2-3 zone, and Vanderbilt struggles at times with the zone because they can't get the isolations for Chantel Anderson like they like.
Much of how McGraw coaches Notre Dame, she got from how Foster coached her, and it includes how they run the zone. Shot clock is at 2. Benningfield hoisting one up, and this is everything. So not the auspicious start Vanderbilt hoped for. Jim Foster through his 7th Sweet 16. Final Four in 1993. Notre Dame also trying to get to its 2nd Final Four. They made it in 97. They lost in the national semis to Tennessee. Seaman coming up short with the driving left-hander, and Vanderbilt will take it out.
Well, I think that tonight is going to be a game of strategies, Dave. You see zone versus zone, and I would look for both coaches, too, to mix up their defenses.
McElhaney was the big surprise the other night against Iowa State. 5 out of 6 three-pointers. She had only 35 for the season. So 20% of her season total in one game. Riley with her first block, sending it back from Klemesheva.
It'll be very key for the centers inside when they take those chances of blocking shots that they make sure that they do not foul, because neither team has really a substitute that could take the place of either one of these two centers.
Danker missed a 3. She led the SEC in three-point shooting this year at 48%. Haney, not a good release on that, but she out-hustles Klemesheva for the rebound, and now back outside Ratai, back inside for the turnaround Riley. And we remain scoreless. Both teams shot terrifically in the semifinal round. Vanderbilt, you expect that. They led the nation. Still at 55% coming into this one.
Well, they're going against a team that is ranked very high in the nation with their defense.
Right at the top, in fact. 33% their opponents have hit against Notre Dame. Well, Mesheva's shot from the baseline caroms into the hands of Erica Haney. Ivy pushing it up. First three of the evening for Alicia Ratai, who hits 54% to lead the nation beyond the arc.
If there's somebody that can break the seal offensively, that's Alicia Ratai. She is deadly from the three-point line.
If anything, McGraw would like to see more shots from her. Danker quickly with the answer. Her 65th of the year. Third meeting ever. Both meetings took place 89-90 season. In a home-and-home series, both teams won on their home floor. Riley for the offensive rebound and the first foul of the game. Chantel Anderson called for the contact behind Riley.
And what happened right there is Chantel just got on the back, and once Ruth Riley gets possession of the ball, that's a cheap foul. Chantel's pretty much got to let that one go.
Riley, throughout her career, has struggled with fouls, but not so much this year, and did not even commit a foul in the semifinals.
Dave, she has matured so much as a player. Watching her all 4 years, and this her senior year being her best year, she has improved in every aspect of her game.
Free throws included, 78%. Anderson has fouled out of 6 different games this year and had 4 fouls in another dozen. We'll watch it all night.
And that's important because Ruth Riley has only fouled out twice this year.
Benningfield missing baseline. Haney the quick kick to Ivy, and Notre Dame running the floor, but McElhaney there to step in front of Seaman. And Benningfield down low to Anderson, who leads the nation 73%, a record pace from the field. So this is their first shot tonight. Riley calling for it, gets it from Seaman, and saves it into the hands of Benningfield. McElhaney hits the pull-up. We're tied at 5. She will probably not sit. She has not missed a minute of the last 2 rounds, and she has played 40 minutes, 13 different games this year.
Well, in reading in their media guide, Coach Foster has 2 little nicknames for Ashley McElhaney. One is Mac, and the other is Tiger.
Ratai right past Danker. And the Irish back in front. Pete Gaudette, the assistant Vandy we talked with before the game, says in all his career, we're talking decades, coaching men mostly, and now women, McElhaney, one of the 5 toughest players he has ever coached. Klemesheva with her first 2 and a chance at 3. And the foul on Riley, her first of the entire regional here in Denver.
Well, the strategy's got to be, when you get the ball in the middle, take it to the hole, because you've got to try to get Ruth Riley in foul trouble, and that's exactly what they did. They've got her with her first foul.
72% free throw shooter, completes the three-point play, and Vanderbilt by that margin. Each center has a foul. We're just underway in Denver.
Levenjuski, my friend.
1997, we lost the eventual national champions. Hoping that they're looking at yet another meeting with UConn at the national center. On Friday night, UConn advancing again out of the East early.
And out of this timeout, Dave, Vanderbilt has switched up their defense, and they've gone to a man-to-man.
Ivy looking low. Anderson tried to get a hand on it, couldn't. First basket for Ruth Riley. She has 4 points. Vanderbilt, a little crisper ball movement starting this possession. Ratai got a piece of it. He's come up against the shot clock several times already. Danker through traffic to Anderson. First 2 for Chantel.
Little tip for that, tit for tat, center to center there. Really working the ball, both teams, to get it inside.
It may well be a standoff between those two, so we'll wait and see what other hero emerges. Might be Ratai, just short with what would have been her second three-pointer, and Seaman in almost steals the rebound. Kelly Seaman back as the starter this year, off the bench as a junior. 6'2" senior. 3 senior starters for Notre Dame. No seniors on the roster for Vanderbilt.
so far. Not showing herself as a three-point threat. And right around Riley goes Anderson.
Wow, the sophomore center is showing her ball handling skills, dribbling around Ruth Riley to get a better angle for the shot.
4 more shot attempts already put up by Vandy. And the three-point lead results. Riley coming up short. Goes after her own miss, knocked away by Anderson, and captured by Klemesheva.
And Klemesheva leads the Vanderbilt team in rebounding, and it's from that hard work that she just did that last defensive series.
She gets 8 per game. Anderson, you'd think, would lead in that category. She's 6.4. Klemesheva goes after him hard. Big traffic, not quite for Danker. Anderson fouled, looked like by Seaman. Haney will get the call instead. Erica Haney's first.
A sophomore that's really making some noise in the nation with her scoring ability, and there she demonstrates that she can go around the defense and get to the basket.
She went up against the third-team All-America center the other night, Angie Welly of Iowa State, who was bothered by foul trouble. And as that game went on, it got easier and easier for Anderson. Basically, pass, turn, layup. It's not going to be that easy tonight.
I don't think so. And one thing Iowa State did is they stayed behind Anderson all night until the final few minutes of the ball game. And I think if Angie Welly had gone in front and not allowed her to catch the ball so easily, she may have had a more difficult night to score.
She's also a 73% free throw shooter, but only one here. 4-point lead. Riley can't get it over Anderson. And Riley looking in frustration at Rick Morris for a call that doesn't come.
And Coach McGraw is really upset, really wanted that call there, and really is pleading her case to Rick Morris.
The second foul, whichever center gets it first, is going to be pretty big. Comes the bigger, of course. Klemesheva comes up with her own rebound and the putback. 4th best rebounder in the SEC, which is saying something. I have to tell you that.
Well, and most good players know whether their shot's going in or not, and if it's not, they know where it's coming off in order to go follow it and get the rebound.
Nice spin move inside, and Kelly Seaman finishes with her first 2 of the night.
Wow, that was a great move by Kelly Seaman down the middle.
This is really a rarity for Notre Dame, being behind at any point in the game. Their average lead at the half this year has been 15 points. And the average win margin has been 23 for Muffet McGraw. Behind most of the way so far. Vandy won't go to the bench much, but Hillary Hager comes in here for Bedingfield, a 5'11 freshman, Franklin, Pennsylvania, 45% three-point shooter. Amanda Barksdale, 6'3 sophomore, Friendswood, Texas, for Ruth Riley. This probably won't be a long break. Minute or 2, you'd think at the most, wouldn't you?
I think it'd be just a quick blow.
Well, from clear across the floor, the call on Barksdale for contact behind Anderson.
See there, I guess they call it a 2-hand touch in the back. You can only have one hand in the back.
Anderson blocked by Barksdale. Her stock in trade.
And you won't see that happen very often where Chantel Anderson gets her shot blocked.
Second 3, Ratai. She has 8, and Notre Dame within 1. With Barksdale in for Riley, they have the second leading shot blocker in the Big East behind who else? Ruth Riley. So the defense that Barksdale can put out there, almost Riley quality. Anderson tries her again, scores this time, and has a chance at a three-point play. Barksdale, in about a minute, has picked up 2.
While Chantel Anderson does a nice job of creating space, you see there where when she gathers the ball, she brings it in tight, pivots strong, and is able to finish her shot.
Amanda Barksdale averaged 8 blocks as a senior of all the shot blocking records in the Houston area. With the touch, Anderson's three-point play. 8-4. She has outscored Riley so far, and the Commodores have outscored McGraw's Irish by 4.
What Notre Dame is trying to do is go straight at Chantel Anderson, but I think it's going to have to be very important that Coach Muffet-McGraw keep her composure, because if you see that the officiating isn't going quite the way you think it is, your players start paying more attention to that than they do concentrating what they need to do on the floor.
Having said that, she had a pretty good argument.
You're right, she did.
Still Barksdale, and not Riley in the middle. Barksdale, not much of an offensive threat, a point and a half per game. Compared to Riley's 18. Seaman, a nice finish on a drive. Big East most improved player, and you don't see a senior get a most improved very often.
But it's very happy to see Kelly Seaman get that. She lost her starting position her junior year, but came back and earned it back for her senior season.
Their caller, the difference in their team this year. The unsung hero. Ivy in front for the steal. And foul by McElhaney. Neil Ivy, about 2.5 steals per game. Well, tomorrow night, the Tebow NIT semifinals tip off at Madison Square Garden, beginning at 7 Eastern. Detroit, Alabama. Second game, Tulsa, Memphis. In New York City, the NIT reaching its annual climax in the Garden. Ivy is a 71% free throw shooter. And Riley will be back in for Barksdale at the 10:37 mark. Danker replaced, and Hager comes back.
I think it'll be interesting what defense Notre Dame comes back in. They were in a man-to-man last trip, and in shoot-around earlier today, Coach McGraw said, you know, we're going to stop Anderson and McElhaney, and they'll pick and choose what other players they leave open. And with Hager on the floor right now, you'll see very often Ratai helping completely off of her to help inside on Chantel Anderson.
With both these teams, though, there is really no good option to leave alone. At any given point, probably somebody out there can hit a three-point for both teams.
Definitely so, and I'd probably play the numbers and go experience. I'd guard the experience and not guard the inexperience.
Ivy helping out, knocks the dribble away from Anderson, and Notre Dame ball. The quick hands of a fifth-year senior.
Yep, Ivy knocked the ball off Chantel Anderson's leg there.
Ivy off 2 ACL tears. Feeding Seaman. Kelly Seaman has tied it at 18 at the halfway mark of the first half. Inside out, the Commodores play it. Starting with Anderson, now back in the hands of McElhaney. Now guarded by Monique Hernandez. So Mesheba has the hook. Manny back in front. They had 34 baskets the other night, 28 assists. That type of distribution. Ivy quickly down with a 3 for the lead. And at any point, she can hit from way out. 54th three-pointer of the year.
The man-to-man defense seems to be the true defense for both teams. Now that they've gone man-to-man, it's really helped them on both ends.
Now calling it a 2 by Ivy. So tied at 20. McElhaney driving on Hernandez, travels. Fourth Vanderbilt turnover. Jim Foster talking about the center matchup was really putting it in some perspective yesterday. And they're going to check the previous shot, I believe. I don't think it's a clock issue. It's the shot by Ivy, I believe, that they are confirming, 2 or 3.
Now, Coach McGraw challenges this, and she is found wrong. She is charged with a timeout.
Jim Foster says it's like Russell Chamberlain, Frazier, Ali, getting a chance to see Anderson and Riley head-to-head. Now, moments ago, the shot by Niele Ivey. Should be a 3.
Should be a 3.
And instead of the upstretched arms by Dennis DeMeo, he had the shrug. He had him at shoulder length, appealing for help. And ruled incorrectly at the time between her toes, and now they do call it a 3. Her toes
Notre Dame's Niele Ivey is a
beyond the arc.
3-point basket.
So, as we originally thought, 21-20 Notre Dame. Just the opportunity to get to the Final Four in her hometown of St. Louis. As Ivey smiling the most she ever has in her career, she says, since the second round on.
She said she just wants to have fun now. She wants to finish her career and be smiling, standing on that stage with that national championship trophy.
Ratai knocked down. This may be the second foul on Anderson. And it is. Vanderbilt and Notre Dame, third seed against the top seed here in the Pepsi Center in Denver. Vanderbilt has led most of the way at this point. Notre Dame by 1. And Riley going right at Chantel Anderson in the battle of the All-American centers. Riley now 6. That is 2,000 career points for Ruth Riley and a 3-point Notre Dame lead. Wasting no time, seeing if Anderson might pick up her third.
Well, Anderson's got to play really smart right here. I've got to believe Jim Foster has Danker at the table to take Anderson out and go to his really smaller lineup.
Benningfield in and out, back in for a 3. Only 3 points for the freshman the other night. 2-time Kentucky Player of the Year. This time last year, the reigning Miss Basketball out of Louisville. Ratai, another 3. Her third. Taking to heart the request by her coach to shoot it. Don't be so unselfish.
Don't be shy. I think if Ratai can see it, she needs to let it fly because she is very accurate from the arc.
Right there among the most accurate 3-point shooting seasons in the women's game history. 3 out of 4 in this one. 11 points. Bad pass right to Seaman. Hernandez to push it up. Irish playing with 2 point guards and misses badly on the steal. No numbers advantage with 4 Irish defenders hustling down and traveling. Vanderbilt with its 6th turnover. Notre Dame with its biggest lead. They've trailed by as many as 6. Difference right now, the marksmanship of Deadeye Alicia Ratai. 7:24 in the half.
The original was the opposition because they're such close friends. Jim Foster and Muffet McGraw. Back in the early 80s, Foster was the head coach at St. Joe's, where McGraw was his assistant. These two have remained close throughout their career. In fact, Foster is her son's godfather, and talk about being close. Their hotel rooms right across the hall from one another this weekend here in Denver.
Muffet's husband, Matt, spending more time in Jim Foster's room than his own, according to Muffet. Notre Dame's 4th turnover, and there's Matt and Murphy pulling out all the stops. 10-year-old son.
And Jim Foster is Murphy's godfather.
Understandable why they don't like playing each other. Someone's got to lose. Jillian Danker with a nice bounce pass into traffic. Klemesheva has 9.
Dave, they've talked a lot about if one of the centers had to go to the bench, but I think it plays really to Jim Foster's favor, or he is the least one hurt, because he says now he has 5 players on the floor that can both shoot the 3 and put the ball on the floor and take it to the hole.
Some ways they get even more dangerous. They're quicker. Haney cut off on the baseline. Lob in. Riley. Long on the turnaround. Danker for the board. Klemesheva giving up 3 inches in the matchup. Now guarding Riley. McElhaney calls for it. A long 3-pointer is too long. Benningfield. Rejection number 2. And Riley takes it straight away from Jenny Benningfield. Never even left her feet for that block. Ratai for a 2. 13 for Ratai. Her average per game.
She's right on mark. because she's like on radar, knows where the basket is tonight, very focused.
Almost strange to see her hit it, too. She's hit exactly as many twos as threes. 73 apiece coming into that. McElhaney, having shown the three, blocked by Ivy and fouled her first. Nice up fake by Ashley McElhaney, setting that up. 5th Notre Dame team foul.
Well, I'm sure that Neil Ivy saw Ashley McElhaney play the other night and knows that she can shoot the ball, and Ashley got her defense to leave her feet and then went by her.
Really a career game almost across the board for her. Led the SEC in assists and had 7 to go with her 23 points. You get 23 points on 9 shot attempts. How can you be more efficient than that? That's what she had.
Well, she had 5 3-pointers, and that ties her career best. A 5 free 3-point made in a game.
Seaman driving and draws the blocking foul on Denker, her first.
Jillian Denker tries to beat Seaman to the spot, but she's moving there, and I think really she was playing Seaman way too close. Seaman's not going to shoot that shot at the elbow.
Quick touch pass. Ivy to Riley, the easiest 2 of the game. 4 years together, that type of communication becomes expected. Knocked off Riley to Seaman, another steal off Riley's defense. Look for the score in transition. Commodores hustling back. Haney getting inside for her first bucket. And the biggest lead of the game now for the Irish is 5. They've trailed by as many as 6.
Well, this Notre Dame team, all 5 starters average in double figures, and they all bring something different to the table.
Only one NBA team has all 5 averaging at least 11. That's Portland. Klemesheva, with Anderson out, having to do all the inside offensive work. She has 11. Then we moved to Germany from the Czech Republic in 1992. Off balance, but it goes for Seaman. Much more balance so far out of Notre Dame. 19 of Vandy's 29 from either Klemesheva or Anderson, who continues to sit. And we hit 4 minutes to go in the half. Double team, Klemesheva giving it up. Julie Coley in off the bench. McElhaney an open 3. That shot not there for tonight.
She just can't get it to fall tonight.
Riley turning on Klemesheva, and now it's easy with that 3-inch height advantage.
And now Klemesheva is doing the same thing that Angie Welly did, getting stuck behind Ruth Riley, and you've got to get in front of a center that can score like that.
Chantel Anderson sitting with 2 fouls, so Riley guarded by a forward. That's no matchup at all. Czechoslovakia in Germany, and it should be here in the U.S. That's an elbow foul. She didn't get a call, though.
Well, she thought Ruth Riley had an offensive foul there, and you know, she's going to complain. She gives up several inches to Ruth Riley.
Chantel Anderson continues to sit as Notre Dame counts its biggest lead of the game. 3 minutes and a half. They go inside and miss the shot clock. Would you put her back in at this point? The question for Jim Foster after this timeout. Notre Dame presents ESPN the Magazine's College Basketball Awards. Digger, Dickie V, and Nancy Lieberman-Klein present 15 awards, including the men's and women's player and coach of the year. Anderson returns. 2 fouls, 2:51 to try not to pick up number 3, and she goes out to the perimeter to challenge Ratai and helps force a turnover. Threw it right to Klemesheva. Biggest lead right now for the Irish. They double Anderson. The kick out for a 3 from the corner by Denker, her second.
Well, I think Coach Foster's got to take a gamble right now with Anderson in, but defensively, I would put her in front of Ruth Riley.
Riley on the bench now as Barksdale for the second time takes her place. Siemens miss into the hands of Haney for the easy follow. 38-32. So Ruth Riley taking her second break. Anderson shooting over Barksdale. But it won't be a long one for Ruth. Anderson now 4 out of 6, 10 points. Riley 4 out of 8, also 10 points. Nice drive and finish. Ratai as deadly inside the arc as she is outside so far.
Well, Julie Coley got caught a little too close to Ratai, denying there, and Ratai beat her on the back door.
6 out of 7, 15 points for Alicia Ratai. McElhaney guarded by her. Denker hit it out on the 3. Klemesheva has that knowledge of where the angles are, where the open spots to get offensive rebounds are.
She reads the ball very well, has a knack for knowing where it's coming off, and she's in great position for that offensive rebound.
And a Notre Dame timeout with their lead now chopped to 4. Minute 13 and a half.
Well, it seems to be the freshmen that are making the mistakes for this Vanderbilt team. Julie Coley's trying to deny Alicia Ratai the ball right there, and she gets beat on the backdoor cut.
Coming up on the Monistat halftime report, we'll rejoin Robin Roberts, Vera Jones, and Nell Fortner. UConn back in the Final Four. Xavier and Purdue battling to get to the Final Four. An analysis of our first half. You're on pins and needles, aren't you? Former Purdue coach and former Vanderbilt Commodore.
I tell you, if those two teams get to the Final Four, I don't lose.
Anderson back out, Riley back in. So coaches avoiding the head-to-head matchup here in the last couple of minutes. And Siemens' lob sails over everybody.
And I think that's a great defensive move there by Klemesheva. She was in front of Riley, making Siemens make the tough pass, and she turns the ball over.
The point guard matchup, McElhaney and Ivy, pretty much a standoff. McElhaney outscored her 4-3. Not looking for their own shots much so far. Banker established as a three-point threat, so inside it goes. 15 for Klemesheva. She and Ratai turn into the big guns, and it's not the centers. Ivy gets the entry pass this time, and Riley misses off the glass. That'll be Seaman over the back for her first. The other night, Carolyn, Nell Fortner making the observation, sometimes Ruth Riley may have too many moves in her, rather than just go right up over the smaller player.
Well, and I think as a great player like Ruth Riley, you see so many defenses and you have to do so many things to get open that when you have a mismatch and you give up inches, the easiest and the best move to make is just to square up and shoot the ball.
Shot clock not a factor here, and Vanderbilt can go for the tie, maybe the lead. Down to 8 seconds for Denker. Stops, Banks stays in. And Ratai from behind midcourt to end the first half, 40-40. A standoff in the middle. And the points are flying from the perimeter. 15 by Alicia Ratai, 15 by Zuzana Klemesheva. We'll check in quickly with Rob Stone.
Joy now with Coach McGraw. I saw some looks of puzzlement defensively and turnover-wise the last couple of minutes. What are you going to tell your team in the locker room?
Well, I promise we can't contain the ball right now. They're killing us in the paint. We've got to do a better job defensively.
Coach, thanks for your time. Have a good second half. Dave, take it away.
Well, we thought it'd be tight. It is. Everything we thought it would be. 40-40, halfway through the Midwest final. Let's send it back to Robin Roberts.
All right, Dave, thank you very much.
Terrifically, especially Notre Dame, 63% in the first half. Ratai, just her second miss on 8 attempts. She has 15. Klemesheva leading Vandy with 15. And she goes quickly for 17, missed it off the glass, and a rebound foul. But with Anderson sitting much of the first half with 2 fouls, Susanna took over.
Well, Susie has done a great job of taking up the slack in the paint. She hit 7 of her last 10 shots of the first half, and Vandy has scored 27 points in the paint to Notre Dame's 22.
Picked up her first foul. Ivy and McElhaney, pretty much a standoff at the point. Riley misses on the turnaround and batted into the hands of Chantel Anderson.
And the one player that had her hands on the ball was Susie Klimchova. She has been right there rebounding every time.
We credit her with her 5th rebound. So Notre Dame, 3 players on her when she touches it, and a rare air ball by Anderson. Riley may have had a piece of that.
Well, I don't think Chantel got completely squared up on that shot.
Great position by Riley, and that's 3. Chantel Anderson, the second-team All-America center, picks up number 3, barely a minute into the second half.
Well, she just got caught out of position there and really just didn't move her feet and caught Ruth Riley on the arm right there.
So Jim Foster's statement, they played much differently without Anderson, not necessarily less dangerous, though. That gives them 5 who can all drive and hit threes, and he will have to stick by that. As Riley, now with 12, has Notre Dame up 2. For now, Anderson staying in the game.
Well, I think defensively, she just needs to get in front of Ruth Riley, not let her catch the ball instead of trying to defend her once she does catch it.
Riley playing behind her, now switches over to the front offensively. Down the baseline and out of bounds. 7th turnover by the Commodores. Would you have thought he would immediately pull her after foul number 3 this close a game?
Well, with her history and having fouled out of 6 ball games, I could see where he might have.
Riley going right in after her.
She's in a position now, she's very vulnerable. She's not going to play the toughest defense she can because she's afraid of picking up her 4th foul.
Well, National, who would move over and play center, has only 1. He could be plenty aggressive. Going to tour into the middle, and this time she does get the roll. 17 points. And a quick Vanderbilt timeout.
And I got to believe that Jim Foster is going to make on the backside. See there, Chantel is not able to play the tough defense that she normally would play because she's afraid of picking up that 4th foul.
Player of the year and the 2nd best center in the country. Head-to-head in the regional final. Advantage Riley right now, and only 1 foul is her biggest advantage. But Chantel Anderson staying in the game. If you're Foster, do you take the fact that she's going to have to be less aggressive on offense as an exchange for the fact, or on defense, as an exchange for the fact that you still have her on offense?
Well, he's gone to a man-to-man, and I think there he's going to depend on strong help defense from the rest of Chantel's teammates.
Kelly Seaman with 10 points. Vanderbilt early led by as many as 6. Late in the half, trailed by as many as 7. And now down by 4. Anderson hemmed in, retied down to help. McElhaney launching to 3. Shot has not been there for her tonight. 5 out of 6 in the semi. Only 1 bucket for her.
is not able to find it like she did against Iowa State.
Well, that's her pattern. She'll go 6 points, 8 points, 20, and then maybe back to 4. Anderson missing on the bottom of the iron. Maybe frustrated offensively by having to be so passive defensively now. Riley wanting to go right back at her, gets it from Ivy and misses on the turnaround.
That was a nice show-and-go move, just wasn't able to finish the little right-hand jumper.
She's been pretty well defended, 5 out of 12. She's worked for all 14 of her points. Anchor. Wide open three. Again long. Consistently long from McElhaney.
I think Ashley's got to believe that eventually one of them's going to fall for her, because as long as she continues to miss, Notre Dame's not going to guard her.
Anchor did a couple of three-pointers. Hasn't tried a shot yet. First 4+ second half minutes. Klemesheva hitting everything. 19 points.
I would work a little inside-out game with Chantel Anderson and Susie Klemesheva, the way that Susie is shooting the ball.
Back to 2. Ratai, likewise, can't miss. 6 out of 8 for her. 17 points. She leads Notre Dame. Only the third Irish player you worry about. Anderson gets the roll. First points of the half. She has 12.
And the shots that Chantel is making are not easy shots, trying to shoot over 6'5" Ruth Riley.
So far, leaving her in, paying dividends for Vandy. She gets a hand on that pass down low. McElhaney to Klemesheva, who travels. Never got her feet set. And with 14:54 remaining at the Pepsi Center, Notre Dame by 2. Anderson very careful but still effective with 3 fouls.
Every Thursday, it's Thursday Night College Basketball from 9 to 11 on ESPN Classic.
When you have an ailment, different doctors might recommend different treatments. But for women suffering with yeast infections...
Family support on hand. Ruth's mom, Sharon.
Ruth's got a lot of family here. I think her sister's here. She's also got one of her nieces here and a couple of her cousins.
Biological father as well. Ruth growing up a high school prospect in Macy, Indiana, who has really turned herself into something. Had size coming out of high school, and she's turned herself into an athlete. Seaman may turn this into a three-point play, and the 4th foul. Leaving her in work for a couple of minutes. No longer.
Well, when you've got 3 fouls, I'm not sure you want to try to take a charge. But I think she was there. That's a close call there. That could have gone either way. I think she was planted and had good position.
Seaman missing the free throw. But you hit on the real issue, though. Can you even afford the chance of not getting the charge?
Probably wouldn't have chanced that play.
Ratai a hand on the interior pass. First real fast break chance in a long time. Saved by Seaman, but picked up by Joni Benningfield. Mostly a half-court affair tonight. Klemesheva around Riley and hacked hard. One more look at the 4th foul of the game on Chantel Anderson. How close?
Well, I think it's pretty close. You just got to tell whether or not she gave Kelly Seaman room once she left the floor to come down, and that may have been how the official called it.
So with 12 points on 5 of 9 shooting. Klemesheva will have one more. And you no longer have the option. 14:09 to go. She has to come out. Klemesheva has to move over to center. But again, they're used to it. They don't necessarily think they're that much worse a team for it, because they have better quickness, and all 5 players can hit 3-pointers. They trail by 5 as she sits. Benningfield gets a piece of the pass. Can't save it. Ruth Riley, early in her career, had a lot of games like Chantel Anderson's having right now. Only 1 foul tonight. No fouls in the semifinal.
Well, I think Jim Foster sums it up best. You know, you look at Ruth Riley, a senior, and she is the finished product. You look at Chantel Anderson, she's still a work in progress.
Little pump fake comes up short and held off that time by Klemesheva. Her 7th rebound. Each time they've been down, Vandy's come back. Not as many as 7. Ivy tight to deny Denker. Shot clock under 10. Jenny Benningfield. Rebounded by Retire.
Well, I think with Hillary Hager on the floor, they're really playing 4-on-5 because Hager played 5 minutes in the first half and never looked to attempt a shot.
Ivy, as we said, has been smiling more than ever, but not on plays like that. That's more of a wince. And the smile's gone now after she travels and is replaced by Janika Joyce. We see the 5'9" freshman from Topeka, Kansas for the first time tonight. Ira staying in the 2-3 zone. Hager missing the three-pointer. Retire can't save it. Vanderbilt ball. So with a 5-point deficit, Anderson sitting at about the 14-minute mark.
I think she would still be on the floor if she hadn't taken that chance trying to draw the charge on Kelly Seaman.
They've got Klemesheva surrounded. Bad luck on the three-point try by Hillary Hager. Of course, there was a foul that was not called on Anderson in the first half. Maybe this makes up for that. Retire. Rebounded by Riley, knocked out by McElhaney. This was the first halftime tie of the year for Notre Dame. They've only trailed at the half twice. And it was in both of their losses. To Rutgers by 1, to UConn by 2. Denker can't finish. Defended hard by Seaman.
That was a good hustle play by Kelly Seaman to get back, stop the layup, and not draw the foul.
Riley. Not much arc, just enough to give her 16. And we hit 12 minutes to go. 5-point margin. Klemesheva not even looking for the three. One thing she's not quite as adept at. Inside, out it goes, and again McElhaney can't get the three-pointer to fall. Rebound foul. Kelly Seaman now with 3. She's the only Notre Dame player who has to watch herself the rest of the way. McElhaney 0 for 5 beyond the arc. Riley guarded by the much smaller defender now, and her Irish up by 5.
The Mercedes M-Class has been acclaimed as the vehicle most suited for use in any environment where people live, and one environment where they would desperately want to.
State Farm is a proud sponsor of women's basketball. Because little girls have big dreams, too.
Par, par, birdie. Par, eagle. Whoa. Par, par. Must be a Golf Magazine subscriber. How would you like to shave 3, 4, or 5 strokes off your game? Add 20 yards to your tee shots. Start one-putting greens. Chip like a pro. Blast your way out of the bunker. Shoot lower scores and play the best golf of your life. Now you can by calling for your free trial issue of Golf Magazine. Issue after issue, Golf Magazine gives you proven tips to improve your short game, develop better touch, fix your slice, straighten your hook, drop more putts, drive longer, and more, all to have you saying par, par, birdie. When you call now for your free trial issue, you get the Golf Magazine gear bag with a roomy shoe compartment as your free gift. Call now for your free trial issue of Golf Magazine. If you like it, get 11 more issues, 12 in all for just $15.94. Plus, get the Golf Magazine gear bag free with your paid subscription. Call the toll-free number on your screen now.
And welcome back to Denver, Colorado. Vanderbilt trailing Notre Dame by 5. And what a huge game right now for VU forward Zuzi Klemashova. Not only offensively, but now defensively, having to guard Ruth Riley, the All-American. And to be honest, she's lucky she's even playing college ball. She came to the States from the Czech Republic as a junior strictly to learn English. Her host father said, hey, you know what, you're a pretty good hoops player. Got her involved in some AAU tournaments. Jim Foster signed her up early, and now the rest is history.
I always wonder where the height comes from. She's 6'2". Mom is 6'3". Dad is 6'8", and an uncle 6'9". All Czech Olympians, 76 and 80. He goes head-to-head with Riley, who has a 7-foot great-grandfather. And trace her 6'5" height back to him. And a second opportunity here for the Commodores. They only go 7 deep. And one of their 2 subs launching a 3. No chance that time for Hager.
Well, I talked earlier about Hillary Hager not shooting the ball. She's 0 for 3 right now, trying to shoot the long ball.
They run Danker at Riley. Too little, too late. Riley goes for a 3-point play. And Notre Dame matches its biggest lead.
Klemashova just has her hands full down low with Ruth Riley.
All she can do, sit and watch. Second foul on Klemashova, no 3-point play. Riley now 18 points.
Zuzi's doing all that she can. She needs to get some perimeter help, either from Benningfield or Jill Danker.
Klemashova has not sat, nor has McElhaney. Nothing new. Another offensive rebound. Hager back out to McElhaney. Got a lot of shooters with range, but they don't have room.
Yeah, the Notre Dame defense, this sticky defense, it's covering them.
So the shot clock winding down. Danker tries to arc one up over Riley off the glass. Joyce a little bit short on the 3, rebounded by Erica Haney. Riley not going for a hook that she had over Klemashova. Back outside, and the hook falls for Seaman instead. Same difference, 14 for Kelly Seaman.
Well, it's really the second tier that's really making the difference with Zuzi Klemashova for Vanderbilt and Kelly Seaman for Notre Dame.
14 now for Seaman. The lead grows to 9. Will a 3 finally fall for Ashley McElhaney? Missed her first 5. Hit her first 5 the other night against Iowa State. Quick dump in. Riley, 2 more, and another foul. And now you're getting to the point, if you're Vanderbilt, where you also have to worry about Klemashova's foul. That's her 3rd. Women's NCAA basketball Final Four doubleheader from St. Louis. Dips off Friday night at 7 Eastern from the Savvis Center. Don't miss the best of women's college hoops. The Final Four, Arch Madness from the Gateway City. Friday in the championship on Sunday in Anderson in now 9:17 to go in what is a 9-point game.
Well, I think it's going to be very important with Chantel Anderson in the game. You could go a man-to-man defense, front her, but your perimeter players, the perimeter defense has got to put strong ball pressure so that the pass inside does not come very easy.
And with Anderson re-entering, Riley leaves, replaced by Amanda Barksdale. That happened a couple times in the first half. Coaches did not have the centers go head-to-head. Out to Hager, way off. Her shot's not even close tonight. Way wide left, and she's 0 for 4, all on 3s.
Well, Hager doesn't have to settle for the 3-point shot. I think she's staying too far out, like the arc is out of bounds. Take a dribble in, make them guard you, penetrate, make something happen.
Saturday, all 84 points for Vandy by the starters, and again tonight they have no bench points. Air ball by Ivy. Seaman back out. Ratai held to just 2 this half. 17 for the game. The jump stop, and it falls again for Seaman. Just one different Notre Dame hot shooter after another, taking turns.
Kelly Seaman has had a phenomenal night tonight. She's definitely playing like a senior that doesn't want this to be her final game. She wants to go to St. Louis.
Foul called on Ivy after the shot falls. And Seaman, earlier this year, showing her inherited toughness, playing part of the season with a broken left hand. Very little drop-off in her effectiveness. Her parents here as well from Edina, Minnesota. Not there for Anderson. Seaman out fighting Denker. And Seaman fouled after the rebound. Well, they may call it just out of bounds. Out of bounds off Vanderbilt. 8:13 to play in Denver. Dave Barnett with Carolyn Peck, Rob Stone. Midwest final. Top seed Notre Dame and Vanderbilt were tied at the half, 40 all. And with Chantel Anderson sitting with 4 fouls, the second-team All-America center for Vanderbilt watches as Notre Dame builds now an 11-point lead, the biggest of the game.
And what we're going to have to watch is Barksdale and Anderson. Barksdale could just get it inside and throw up something wild, but Anderson cannot get that 5th foul.
He watched as Haney took that rebound from right in front of her. All she can do is watch. Benningfield hacking Barksdale. You could hear it. Not called. Ratai inside of McElhaney. Anderson for the board. Had to pick her spots to be aggressive. Throws away the outlet pass. Each team 10 turnovers now. Anderson 4 fouls. One of many issues for Jim Foster and the Commodores.
If your kitchen cabinets are old and outdated, give them a facelift. At Century 21 Home Improvements, we can give you that brand new looking kitchen you've always dreamed of in just a few days at about half the cost of custom kitchen remodeling. Factory-trained installers remove your existing door and drawer fronts, countertops, and hardware. You choose the new colors and style you like best. We reface the front of the cabinets with Easy Care laminate, add new door and drawer fronts, hardware, and countertops. DuPont Corian is also available. In just a few days, you're left with a brand new look for your kitchen.
I think my wife is very happy with it, and if she's happy with it, I'm happy with it.
Call now during our half-price special and buy direct from the manufacturer. Save 50% on your new-looking kitchen. We offer easy financing with no money down and payments as low as $79 a month. It's a limited-time offer, so call now.
As the Final Four winds down, turn to ESPN to keep up. Inside analysis from Chris, Digger, and Dickie V.
The best sporting event of them all.
With round-the-clock coverage and live sports centers from Minneapolis. Starting Wednesday, ESPN's got the Final Four covered. Get a jump on the big weekend with a celebration of college basketball's elite Men's Player of the Year, the Wade Trophy for Women's Player of the Year, and more. Capital One presents ESPN the Magazine's College Basketball Awards, Wednesday at 7 on ESPN.
This team to experience the Final Four. I want to take Niele Ivey back to St. Louis. She hurt her knee her freshman year, lost the whole season, and we're hoping that maybe God had a hand in that, and that fate is saying we want to take her home to St. Louis. So I think in a way there's a little bit of added pressure because I think we are wanting it so badly that we might be just a little bit tense in this game, but we're just hoping that we can come out, play loose, and keep doing what we've been doing.
And Niele Ivey just 7 minutes and 40 seconds away from a chance to play the Final Four in her hometown. One of the most popular players produced in the recent history of St. Louis women's high school basketball. Notre Dame an 11-point lead. Biggest of the night. Vanderbilt shooting just 4 for 20 in the second half. That's the top shooting team in the country. Badly missing Riley. Anderson holding her own and not committing her 5th that time. The advantage for Riley, she has only one foul. She can be as aggressive as she likes.
I think the best opportunity to get the ball to Chantel Anderson is in the middle of the floor. That's about the only place she's not going to receive a double team.
Mesheva, Anderson pushed out, but still gets the lefty hook to fall. 14 for Chantel. Had a 2-game stretch in December, hit 29 of 30 from the field. Tonight, 6 of 11. Not as well as you can defend her.
I think Vanderbilt's got to put ball pressure on any Notre Dame player that's got the ball so that they cannot make an easy pass into Ruth Riley.
The dive coming up empty for McElhaney. Hustle, very much in character.
Well, she's going to dive after every loose ball. I mean, she's playing like she's a senior, and McElhaney's just a sophomore.
Right about now, Vandy'd love to have a senior or two. That's the experience of Seaman and Riley and Ivy, the 3 senior Irish starters. Riley turning on her. That's going to be it. With 6 minutes, 22 seconds to go, Chantel Anderson fouls out for the 7th time this year. And she leaves with 14 points, 4 rebounds.
But you can tell here, Dave, the crowd appreciates the good play and the phenomenal year Chantel Anderson has had as a sophomore. She's led the nation in field goal percentage. She's really led this team to the Elite Eight. And I guarantee you this Vanderbilt team will eventually get to the Final Four before her career is over.
In the previous 6 games in which she fouled out, they split them 3-3. One more look at number 5. And if anybody can sympathize, it's Ruth Riley.
And she really,
3 years.
she totally understands the importance of getting a center like Chantel Anderson out of the game. And as an experienced senior, did a great job of taking the ball to the hole and putting Chantel Anderson on the bench.
Most of her career, that was Riley sitting down early. Julie Coley's pass knocked out. Chantel fighting the tears. Vancouver, Washington product all the way to Nashville. And a finalist for Naismith Player of the Year. The award won by Riley. Julie Coley, freshman, Flower Mound, Texas. 3 on the shot clock. McElhaney. A prayer, almost got it. Riley allows it to go out. Notre Dame ball. All right, you've been here, and you've been on both sides at this point of a regional final. There are coaches that say, Mike Krzyzewski's one that says, this is a tougher coaching job than in the Final Four. Did you find it that?
I think it is. You know, when in '98 we were playing Louisiana Tech in Lubbock, Texas, we had a lead of 5 points, but Louisiana Tech came back and took it from us. Well, the next year we had to play Rutgers. And at this point, because of the experience and knowing what it feels like, we were able to get to the Final Four.
Jim Foster calls time. Riley has given Notre Dame a 12-point lead with her 24th point of the night. And the familiar sign from the football locker room. Here for good luck, too, in Denver. This Sunday, April 1st, the 2001 Major League Baseball season begins with opening day presented by Radio Shack. A-Rod, Pudge, and Palmero face Carlos Delgado. The Rangers battling the Blue Jays live at 4 Eastern from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Baseball tonight gets you ready at 3 Eastern. And all Chantel Anderson can do, a little assistant coaching and urging and pleading and praying.
Well, she's got to just stay with her team, with team inspiration. This is a young group. Understand the experience and use it to take this team a little further next season.
Normally, Vandy, at this point, thinking our 3-point shooting can bring us back. Maybe it will yet. McElhaney's hit 2 in a row, but they're just 5 for 16, 31% for the night, and just 42% overall. Normally, they're 42% from 3-point territory. Riley over Komesheva, 26.
Ruth Riley's doing a great job of just getting good position. She waits for the right time for the passer to be ready to pass the ball and then establishes great position.
Omesheva looked for the pass, instead takes it right at Ruth. And Riley with her second. Mom not taking anything for granted, even with a 9-point lead. Omesheva shoots for the 3-point play. Gets it. And they're within 8.
Well, that's one thing that Notre Dame doesn't want is Vandy to have the ability to score when the clock's not running.
23 with 10 boards was Zuzana Omesheva. Seaman. One and done, Notre Dame. Rebound Danker. Vandy a chance to run, but not much of one. They have completely shut off the fast break. Both teams actually had terrific transition defense. McElhaney went for her third straight three. Benningfield there to take it away from Riley.
Well, now Notre Dame has gone to a man-to-man. And that can really play to Vanderbilt in their favor. They've got 5 players on the floor that can shoot the 3 and 5 players that can take the ball to the hole.
Foley's pass off McElhaney, and they're just about to the point. They can't turn it over anymore. 3:45 remaining. 8-point game.
I was born into a new generation.
I was born into a new generation.
I was born into a new generation.
I was reborn into a new generation.
Generation D.
WorldCom. Generation D. Generation D isn't about the country.
It isn't about culture. It's about attitude.
Ich komme aus Deutschland, from Germany.
Je vis en France.
I come from Indonesia. Saya datang dari Indonesia.
I'm from Oklahoma.
Oklahoma?
But we speak the same language.
Digital. And we make it easy to understand.
Want to know about web hosting?
Web hosting.
Web sensors.
Global IPVPN.
You've come to the right generation.
Generation D.
WorldCom.
Generation Digital.
You've come to the right generation.
Generation D.
This weekend, Enterprise Rent-A-Car announces special low rates from just $9.99 a day. Friday till Monday from just $9.99 a day. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
1-800-RENT-A-CAR. Now get the Wall Street Journal delivered for 8 weeks at just 38 cents a day, a 50% savings. Call now 800-854-2200. That's 800-854-2200 for the Wall Street Journal.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship is brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at MBUSA.com.
As predicted, the team winning the center matchup, winning on the scoreboard. Riley has outscored the now fouled out Chantel Anderson by 12, and her team leads by 8 with 3:38 separating them from their second trip ever to the national semis. Riley around Omesheva. Some of the athleticism that she did not come out of high school with. That part of her game really self-made, isn't it?
Oh, definitely so. And it comes from hard work. Ruth Riley is Naismith Player of the Year for a good reason.
First half a standoff, 10-10. Second half all Riley. Almost stolen by Ratai. Vandy needing stops, and they hit just about every shot they take. They got to get one up here. Shot clock at 2 as Klemesheva fires and hits. A long 2.
And that was a shot made over running Ruth Riley coming at Klemesheva, and she was able to concentrate and knock it down.
25 and 10 boards for Zuzi. But they keep trading hoops. Ivy, 2.5 minutes away from a homecoming. Eventually, they look for the angle inside to Riley, and that'll be 4 on Klemesheva. So between the two Vandy centers, the only two they play, 9 fouls now trying to deal with Ruth Riley. And now 7 Vanderbilt team fouls.
Well, that's Klemesheva. Zuzi's the only one that has a chance of guarding Ruth Riley, and with her having 4 fouls, I've got to believe that Coach Muffet-McGraw is going to, every trip down, go straight inside to Riley.
Looking like a Notre Dame UConn matchup in the national semifinals. They are one of 2 teams to beat the Irish in the Big East final. Sue Bird's buzzer beater, 78-76. Notre Dame won big at home, 92-76 over UConn. Their only other loss, 54-53 at Rutgers. Jump stop and a foul by Haney. Just how they match up. Too bad it can't be the final, but this year Midwest plays East, and UConn is coming out of the East.
And this will be the 4th time these 2 teams have met.
Ashley McElhaney, an 86% free throw shooter. Best the Commodores have. Sports Center next. Breakdown of the 4th meeting of the year between Duke and Maryland in the national semis. Question of the night, coaching your kid. Tiger's Tail going for back-to-back wins in Florida. McElhaney hitting them both back within 8. Riley with 30 points. That is a Notre Dame high by anyone this year. She had 29 against UConn, January 15th meeting, and against Pittsburgh, and she'll get 2 more shots at the line with 1:57. On the foul by Danker. Now, if you're Muffet-McGraw, are you allowing yourself any letdown at all in your nervousness level?
Not at all, and I would say that Muffet-McGraw inside is saying, clock run. Just run as fast as you can.
Riley now a season-high 32. The free throws continue to fall for her. 10 of 12 tonight. Vanderbilt as a team, 9 of 11. Haven't been able to match it. Nobody has this year, really. Klemesheva staying at it, 27, and a Vanderbilt timeout with 1:41. Their next to last timeout.
Well, just yesterday we watched Arizona and Illinois go back and forth in the last 2 minutes of the ball game. Seemed like that game lasted an eternity.
Hopefully, we won't have a repeat of that game. I think the last 15 seconds lasted an hour. So it seemed. Only one more timeout for Vanderbilt. Notre Dame has no foul trouble of its own. So round 3 looking more and more like a certainty. They ended the regular season ranked 1 and 2. Purdue is in. They won the Mid-East over Xavier tonight. So 3 of the top 8 apparently will be in St. Louis. We'll wait to see about Washington and Southwest Missouri State out west.
Well, you'll have 3 teams there that have been there before, and a new experience for either Southwest Missouri State or Washington.
Ivy would have been there for Notre Dame in '97, but that was one of her 2 knee injury years, so she didn't get to take part. Same thing happened 2 years ago. A healthy 5th-year senior has fueled Notre Dame's 31-2 record coming in. A rare miss by Riley. And now the Commodores down 8, the minute 10.
They're going to need to score quick. They want to stay in this ball game.
And they don't have to get the 3, but they do need the 2, especially that close, where Danker misses. Saved by Klemesheva. Simply not time for all the passes they're thrown. Under 50 seconds. On the missed 3 by Klemesheva, rebounded by Benningfield. And the foul by Haney stops the clock at 43.4. And the precise thing you said, Muffin McGraw does not want to see.
Don't want to foul right here. Don't want to let Vanderbilt score with the clock not running. They don't get to go to the free throw line.
16 foul. McElhaney, air ball. And out of bounds to Notre Dame. McGraw wanted to get Janika Joyce in before they inbound it. Joyce in to replace Seaman. Smaller, quicker defender. Notre Dame fans, though, saying it's in the bag, and with 36.9 seconds to go, up by 8. Certainly ought to be. Backcourt foul by McElhaney. And Matt and Murphy. Boy, Murphy took nothing to chance sartorially tonight, did he? The face paint, the T-shirt, the pom-poms, the headgear. Had to bring it all out. Well, everything but the hair paint. That was just for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, he didn't go with the green hair this trip.
He won that little gamble, though, it looks like. First trip to the line for Ivy, at 71% free throw shooter. Misses the front end. Final 30 seconds. Vanderbilt getting about a 35-foot attempt by Danker. They were close as long as they had Chantel Anderson on the floor, but she fouled out, and they simply couldn't answer what Notre Dame had, minus the 6'6" Anderson to contend defensively. And Notre Dame will have its second trip ever to the Final Four. They're the champions of the Midwest. Sharon Riley sharing the moment with Ruth, who was a senior in high school in Macy, Indiana. The previous year, Notre Dame won a regional. And the player of the year carries her team to a 72-64 win with 32 points, 6 rebounds in the Midwest Regional Final. Their 32nd win of the year, a new school record. Chantel Anderson fouled out with 14 points and 4 rebounds. What does this feel like?
Coach, right now.
It's a great feeling. It's you know, it's one that you celebrate right here, but you got to believe that these
We're with Coach McGraw right here.
Notre Dame players are really excited and thinking about, we're not finished. They want to continue on and win a national championship.
All right, Rob Stone with Muffet McGraw.
We're with the winning coach right now. Your second trip to the Final Four. Only 3 players scored for your side in the second half. Obviously, it was enough. Tell me about this win.
Well, we wanted to win to Ruth Riley. You know, it's my sister's birthday today. I wanted to do something special for her. I hope you're enjoying it.
That's a shameless plug. The Ruth was on fire, especially in the second half. That was clearly your game plan?
Well, we thought that whichever center got into foul trouble, the other team was going to win. Chantel's a great player. When she went out with fouls, I think that was the difference in the game.
I know you want to enjoy this victory. However, there's a team looming that you know just a little bit about, the UConn Huskies, the 4th matchup of the year coming in. Tell me your thoughts about this one right now.
I'm not thinking much about Connecticut right now. I got to tell you, I'm going to enjoy this one as long as I can. Connecticut's a great team. We're looking forward to just being in the Final Four and taking Neil Ivey home to St. Louis.
Yeah, Coach, congratulations. Have a safe trip.
Thanks.
Well, when she faces UConn, she will not have Shea Ralph and Brosimova to worry about. 72-64, they'll celebrate this one tonight here in Denver. The Irish win it here in the Midwest by 8. Coming up next is SportsCenter. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports and exclusive home of the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship. For more, log on to ESPN.com. For Carolyn Peck, Rob Stone, and our entire ESPN crew here in Denver, Dave Barnett, so long from the Pepsi Center, and congratulations to the Irish.
This is SportsCenter.
And so he went. The tour win number 26 at age 25, while the Reds